Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the first time, you're welcome. We do lovely and great content here. You're gonna have a great time, so make sure to subscribe, like, and if you're an OG on this channel, welcome back. Thank you so much for subscribing. You are the real OGs. Now let's get right into the video. In today's video, we'll be doing a cost of living in Lagos, Nigeria. When you're in your parents' house, please, I beg you, appreciate them because they're doing a whole lot. Once you have to move out, the cost of being an adult, it's premium, especially in Lagos. So what we'll be looking at is accommodation cost, general expenses, so basically the basic things you would spend on. Yeah, the different aspects on which you'll be spending monthly. So for the purpose of this video, I'm doing what we spend in a household of 4. So myself, my husband, our baby, and Elizabeth. So yeah, this could vary. So some households of 4 would tend to spend less, some would tend to spend more. We're a young couple and we're trying to not go above board. But when I did this costing, I was like, wait, this is how much we spend every month. No. Things have to change because I was like, how? First up is accommodation. So we live on the island part of Lagos, and I would say we live in a cheaper area of the island. We're not in the heart of Lekki where things are usually more expensive. So our flat is a 2-bedroom flat, and on a yearly basis, because rents in Nigeria are paid yearly, so on a yearly basis, we spend 1.2 million naira, which in a monthly, on a monthly cost, that's 100,000 naira. So monthly, we spend 100k on accommodation. I'm saying in monthly, why? Because if you're saving towards your yearly rent, I expect you to be putting some money aside every month. So at the end of the year, it's easy for you to pay. But if you're a big guy or a big girl, you can just carry the bulk money at once and pay without needing to save every month. But if you want to be financially conscious, you put aside whatever that amount would be monthly. So at the end of the year, you just pay for it. The next item is electricity bill, aka NEPA. So we have a, what do you call it? Postpaid? No, prepaid, a prepaid meter. So what we do is you top up, you recharge your meter before consumption, whilst a postpaid is they come at the end of the month, they check your meter and issue you a bill. Please run away from postpaid. Run away from postpaid. That's how they do people. They will give you outrageous bills that you've not even consumed in this Nigeria, that they don't even give us light. So yeah, we have a prepaid meter, and so you basically pay for what you consume. You recharge what you're willing to consume. So at the start of the month, my husband usually recharges 10,000 naira, and if it runs out before the end of the month, he will top up 5,000. So usually in a month, we spend between 10 to 15,000 naira on electricity. Bear in mind that when I say on electricity, I mean on NEPA, like your electric card recharge. The next one now is fuel. So you spend on fuel for your generator. So you can either call it fuel or generator, whatever you want to call it. So on a weekly basis, we spend 8,000 naira, and that's because we have an inverter at home, so that provides for most of the electricity needs throughout the day. So in the nights when we want to sleep with the AC and the NEPA has not brought light, we'll on the gen. So that's a major reason why we're on the gen, or to use it to pump water. Yeah, but most times in a week we don't use our gen often, like I said, because of the inverter. Once they bring light, we use the light to do most other things. I mean, NEPA like to use it to do most other things, but throughout the day we use the inverter to watch TV, do all those things, and we're not always at home during the day. So anyways, yeah, so because of that, we spend 8,000 naira a week on fuel for the generator. So times 4 weeks, that's 24,000 in a month. So if you add that to 10 to 15,000 for NEPA bills, you can see how much you spend on electricity. The next one is foodstuffs. For foodstuffs, we spend about 120,000 naira every month. Some months we spend slightly more than that, and some months we spend less than that. The months when we spend more than that are the months where my husband is around for a longer period of time, because he's the one that consumes the most food in this house. He eats the more expensive meat, he eats the more expensive everything. I have some things that are a bit more expensive, but I just buy them once a month. Like, yeah, my yogurts and milks and all of that. But meat, chicken, turkey, especially turkey, 1 kg of turkey is 5,200 or 5,300, 1 kg. So he's the reason why we buy that. Because why do I need to be eating turkey all the time? I'm joking, but if it's only me, I will not be buying turkey. So he's the reason why sometimes we spend more. So months where he's not around, we tend to spend less than that. But on an average, we spend about 120,000 naira on food alone. My baby is not eating inside that food. Myself and Elizabeth, we don't eat much. 90% of what we eat, cereal, salads, fruits, this. But I know that eating healthy is expensive. Even at that, if it's only 2 of us, we'll not spend that much. But you know the culprit. Next up, for my household supplies, more like cleaning items, laundry, and those kind of things, I spend about 20. Sorry, I'm looking down, checking my booklet. I spend about 20,000 naira every month. We buy bleach, which is hypo or jig. We buy powder soap. We buy cleaning items like cleaning liquid for the floor, air fresheners, Fleet, morning fresh, all those things. And then when I mean laundry, because we use the washing machine, but for my husband's like native wear, all his corporate wear and native wear, we outsource those for washing and ironing. So those ones consume more in the budget, but because 90% of the clothes are washed at home, we don't spend much on external laundry. So yeah, 20,000 naira. For our cars, the fuel for our cars, because we use 2 cars in the house, my husband's car, my car, so usually we spend about 40,000 naira on fueling both cars. I say this when my husband is in Lagos. When he's not in Lagos, he spends more than that, because I spend about 15,000. Yeah, 15,000 in a month. My office is not far from the house. Most places I go to are not far. I don't go to markets that are very far from where I live. So if I put 5,000 naira fuel in my car, I will use it for more than a week. So what I tend to do now is that I just fill up my tank. To fill my tank is just about 12,000 naira, because it's a small Camry. It's just about 12,000 naira. And then if like the fuel wants to finish before the end of the month, I'll just top up more fuel. So I don't spend more than 15,000 on fuel. Him, on the other hand, has a car that consumes more. He goes out more. Even though he has his own business that doesn't need him going out, but he has so many other activities that require him going out, and he's always traveling. He's not always in Lagos, and when he travels to Ibadan, he goes by road, so he spends way more than that. But I'm just saying, in our family budget is 40,000. Whatever he spends above that is on his head. Yeah, 40,000 for fuel for both cars. Next up is service charge. You know, if you live in a serviced apartment, you pay service charge, and our service charge is 20,000, which covers for waste management, security, and the cleaning of the flat. Not of the flat, though, of like the surroundings, like the compound, the communal areas, and all of that. So it's 20,000 naira per month. For water is free. I mean, the water you use in the house to cook, to wash different things is free, because in Nigeria, what we use mainly are boreholes. So it's being pumped. When I said you use the generator to pump water, yes, that's what I meant. Either when there's light, you pump it. Basically, it's a self-service system. You don't pay for water, so water is free. DSTV or whichever other media provider you use to watch TV in your house. We use DSTV, and we spend 13,000 naira every month. I say we, I meant he. I don't watch television, and he spends that because he wants to be watching Premier League, Champions League, all those leagues. I don't watch TV. I mainly watch either Netflix or YouTube 24/7. So I'm not included in that 13,000 naira. That was on him. Then for internet, I spend about 24,000 naira every month on both internet and airtime, which my husband spends a bit more than that, but I wrote 24,000 for both of us. So that's 48,000 naira. Anybody that knows that they are spending more than that, they are on their own. Actually, if we were in the same house all the time, meaning that if my husband wasn't traveling as much as he does, what we'll do is have Wi-Fi at home. But 90% of the times I'm not at home. My husband 80% of the times is not in the same city as us. So having that internet, that joint internet, to reduce the cost of our data plans won't help for now. But hopefully with time we'll be able to do that. That's why we spend that much, because if we're paying for unlimited self, we'll not spend that much. I use a lot of data, especially with YouTube, but on a normal day it's a lot of data. He uses way more. But yeah, next is the gas cylinder. So gas cylinder now, I think, is it 12 kg? I mean, in kg, share that big bottle of gas. It's 10,000 naira. Yes, in 2022 right now, it's 10,000 naira. Just in 2020, what am I saying? Last year, I was buying gas 5,000, 4,500, then it became 6,000. Now it's 10,000 naira. We shall use one bottle of gas in a month, so that's 10,000 naira. The other thing is my baby's budget. So my baby's budget is 100,000 naira every month. So depending on what she needs to buy for that month, some months she spends more than that, some months she spends less. So if she doesn't finish her money, I actually keep it so that when her dad gives me money the following month for her, I will add the balance to buy more things. But yeah, that's averagely what she spends, and she has not started eating. So I'm like, where are we going? Just her detergent, the Persil we buy to wash her clothes, that one alone is 10,000 naira. Not to talk of the conditioner that is almost 7,000 naira. So it's not as if you are buying big things when you're earning 100,000. It is well, sha. May God help us. Now, this general cost excludes if you have help. So you would pay for that, which we do, but I didn't add it as our monthly cost because not every young family has help. It's not an essential. It's more like whatever works for you. I also did not itemize water individually. I mean drinking water. We buy bottled water and we buy dispenser. We buy more of bottled water, and then we also buy sachet water for my baby. That's what we use to bathe the baby. That's the water we use for bathing the baby. It's just cheaper than using dispenser to bathe her. So I just put that under my food budget, so I didn't put that separately. So those are the items I didn't necessarily cost separately. All in all, brethren, if you do the maths, this money is about 500,000 naira. I'm like, as young people, what are we earning that will be spending this amount of money? So in the course of making this video, I actually had to introspectively reconsider our expenses and choices. Honestly, it's so expensive to live in Lagos, Nigeria right now. I think it was a lot better before. In 2020, when it was just my husband and I, on a monthly basis, I wasn't spending up to 100,000 on foodstuffs. Now we're spending 120,000, and he's not here most times. Gas was cheaper, electricity was cheaper, so many things. Fuel was cheaper. I used to use less than 10,000 naira a month for my fuel in my car. Not to talk of like fuel that we buy now, 4,000 naira to put in the generator. Before, that full keg was in 4,000 naira. Now full keg is 4,500 or so, either 4,000 or 4,500. Whereas before, I think it was 3,000. So everything has added. You realize that when you do your cost, you're spending at least 100,000 naira extra just because of inflation. I'm sure there are several ways to cut on cost, but also you realize people are used to a certain lifestyle, which it's usually hard to downsize on that. And if you're not necessarily willing to reduce your lifestyle or cost of living, you have to increase your means of income, different means of income. So it's really tough in Nigeria right now to be spending this much at this young age. How many are we? My baby is not eating. So yeah, that's how much we spend in Nigeria during an inflation. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment down below, and subscribe. Also share this video with people that you feel will be interested or would like to hear our opinion on this. See you in my next video. Bye.